3, 2, 1, mark. Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima. I'm annoyed. I tried recording this video and the game audio didn't come out. Got a good 40 minutes of video and bloody hell I couldn't even get that right. So let's try this again. Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation Vita. Yes, this actually exists now. This is a thing. And I'm kind of amazed at that. Who would have thought they would actually get around to making this? Seriously, I didn't think they would ever actually make this happen, but apparently someone had the talent and the effort to make it happen. And the funny thing is, you can actually enter shift codes from the PlayStation 3. It's a really thorough port, except for the couple of obvious degradations. So, we are going to play this game, but first of all, we're going to go through the options. Gameplay actually has a fair amount of stuff you can change. You can even turn off the aim assist. You want to leave that on. Trust me, you want to leave that on. You can even change the weapon aim, the crouch toggles, and just all sorts of silly stuff. Although this really tiny font is kind of annoying. I can understand why people think this will be a problem, because this is some really tiny text. It might not look that bad if you're watching this on a really big screen, like a computer monitor in full screen, but yeah, on the Vita this looks really kind of small, and I can understand why some people would have trouble reading it. Audio, you've got your different audio sliders and your subtitles. And in video, you can even change the bounds of the HUD, which is kind of odd. So you can choose while it'll display. So if you turn it all the way down, you can have your HUD really close to the middle of the screen. Turn it all the way up, and you can have it right on the edge. You can even turn off the UI sway, which is what I do. And if we go into the controls menu, this is where stuff gets interesting. So we can invert the look and the turns. We can invert the move and the strafe. We can turn down the sensitivity of the aiming. We can even turn the motion sensors on or off. I actually have this off by default, but we're going to leave it on for the purpose of the video. So, that's the default set of controls. Now, you may realize that doesn't work very well because they put sprint and melee on the back touchpad, which is, I don't like that. I'm really not a fan of that, but I've got a custom layout here. So, on the back touchpad here, I've got the jump and the vehicle boost on the back, the grenade on the back, the melee on the front touch, the move, and let me try it again, the activate skill on where it normally is, X's move, yeah, and you can change his layout like almost however you want. Almost. There are a couple of things that you can't touch. So the way the customization works is that you press triangle and you can swap whatever buttons you like. So if I wanted to swap the functions of X and circle, I just press X then circle and it'll swap those two around. So we'll just change that back to how it was. You can also do this with rear touchpad. So if I want to change the grenade to the front touch screen, so now that I've got the grenade on the touch screen, I can do that. Unfortunately, you can't remap. You can't remap the select button, and you can't remap the D-pad, and you can't remap the analog sticks. The analog sticks are obvious. The D-pad and the select button are not. For the weapons on the D-pad, you have the 4 individual weapons you can take on the D-pad, but I don't really need to do that. I'm fine with just cycling through with the triangle button. And it's kind of annoying me that I can't put sprint to be like down on the D-pad. That is annoying me a lot, and I'm kind of annoyed by that. I'm so annoyed at everything. I'm just annoyed. So it's a good way to set your custom controls up. And I would like to see a little bit more, but if this doesn't get patched, I'm not going to be upset about it. I'll put it that way. So let's actually go and play the game now that the game please don't do any more micro startup. I am currently a level 12 Gunzerker. This is my only character. I don't feel the need to try out anybody else because, to be fair, this is actually a pretty good representation of how everything works. So let's just hit continue. As I said, I actually did some missions and such, like in the previous video. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a lack of stuff to do. So I might have to end up resorting to the story mission that I'm on as part of the content of this video. I hope I don't, but if I do, I'm sorry. I'll let you know before I get into anything really spoiler terrific. Although I'm pretty sure I'm early enough on in the game for that not to be an issue. I am level 12, and the maximum you can get to when you first run through is level 30, I think. So I'm anywhere between a third and halfway through the game at this point. It doesn't really matter, does it? Alright, so this is Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation Vita. I'm reminded of Rage on PC, like before its first patch, where you could turn around and the textures wouldn't load in. But thankfully that goes away after a few seconds, and you won't notice it again until you have to switch areas, and that's not really the worst graphical problem this game has. But oh well. So we're just going to get into a vehicle right away. I don't even know what missions I have to do, so we're just going to go to the select menu after I get out of the car, because there is some stuff here. So the idea of Borderlands 2 is that it's a first-person shooter where all the weapons are dynamically, where all the weapons are procedurally generated. So this sniper rifle here, all procedurally generated. This pistol here, procedurally generated. And we've got all sorts of procedurally generated stuff. Like I've got all these different weapons here, they're all different types, they're all different manufacturers, that all do different things, and they're all just pretty awesome, actually. It's a pretty awesome system, because looting in an FPS never seems like something that would be particularly natural, but it's kind of surprising, to tell you the truth, to know how fun it is to play with these guns. Like, every gun you get can feel significantly different. Like, see, look at this gun. It fires 6 shots in one burst. That's insane. So we're just going to get in the driver's seat here. And we're going to go and have a look at some things. So yeah, the cars in this game don't actually handle as well as they do in Borderlands 2 on consoles. We're just going to have some combat here with these bastards. They don't handle as well. They feel a little bit more stiff. I don't know whether that's the fault of the port or the fault of the analog sticks on the Vita. I really don't think it'd be those, but still, they feel a little bit stiffer than they should, and I don't know why exactly. The vehicle combat in this game isn't really interesting for too long. I mean, once you've killed one aerial enemy and one ground enemy, you've kind of seen it all. Oh yeah, I can kill these guys for ornaments, so I might as well do that. The writing in this game can range from kind of bad to absolutely fantastic. Handsome Jack, the villain, is one of my favorite video game characters ever. I think he's absolutely goddamn hilarious. And then there are some characters that don't get very good lines. It's just... Oh, God. Oh, God! Okay, there are some really good lines in this game by pretty much every major character. But still, it's just kind of annoying. Now, you may have noticed one of this game's major bugbears. I'm just going to take this jump in here because I kind of have to do this mission. This game's frame rate goes from okay to terrible and not much else, to tell you the truth. It is a relatively... It feels like the port is overtaxing the Vita, and it feels like they could have done more to change it, because they took a lot out of this port in order to make it work on the Vita properly, and that kind of disappoints me, because, like, the effects on your guns are anywhere from non-existent to looking absolutely terrible. Come here, you. Come on, come... Why am I losing health so quickly? I'm going to die, that's not going to happen. So yeah, the effects in this game look from terrible to non-existent. Like, I played 70-something hours of Borderlands on the PC, and a lot of the effects are missing, and I kind of miss them. I'm going to die from this. This is going to be freaking terrible. Oh, I got him! Sweet, okay. So yeah, some of the effects are missing, and it kind of disappoints me. It's... The bodies do disappear as soon as they land on the ground, and I wish they would have more of a, I wish they would leave bodies for at least a second or two so you can admire over your work and then just make them fade out. And the effects being missing are kind of annoying, but you can get over it. It's just a little bit disappointing because of... I actually really like this game's look, and its effects lended to its aesthetic, And the aesthetic feels a little bit broken now that half the effects are gone. It's just disappointing, that's all. Was I supposed to ramp inside that fence? I haven't played Borderlands 2 in years, so I don't really know. Okay, hold on. Bloody arbitrary fences everywhere. This game would be better if it was a bit more open. So the idea is that you just wander around this big open world, taking quests from people, and just, like, you know, getting guns, comparing guns, selling guns, guns. And it is fun, and the port on the Vita actually maintains the gameplay in a fairly decent light. That does bring me to talk about the... I can't aim, I'm sorry. Just look, motion sensor, but the frame rate is actually kind of low, so it's kind of a pain to... It's kind of a pain to aim sometimes, but thankfully the aim assist is actually pretty forgiving. So it's pretty easy to get the shots you need to land. And the lower enemy count, of course, I have to talk about this. The game tends to have a lot less enemies than the Borderlands 2 console versions, and there is a reason for this. They want to keep the stress on the graphics and the frame rate down. And there's anywhere between 2 to 5 enemies out at a time, and the 5 usually comes really, really rarely. I'm talking, like, only during boss fights, and even then it's a bit rare. I have nothing against what they wanted to do, which was to God, I can't even finish my own damn sentences. Which was to lower the graphics of the game, to, you know, make it more acceptable. And to be fair, fighting against 2 to 3 enemies at a time isn't that bad, because this game's actually pretty hard, and not being able to aim as precisely as you would with these analog sticks and motion sensor as you would with a joystick or an analog stick is actually makes the game kind of difficult to play sometimes, because you can't aim as well. However, I believe they've actually rebalanced the game to make it work better, which is quite good. All these guns are procedurally generated, people. I got this gun from a boss drop. So we're just going to go and select another quest here. So the game does have 2 other things to talk about here. It's got badass ranks. Now, badass ranks are a persistent bonus giver. So when you do challenges, as you can see, challenges like this, so, you know, complete all battles, purchase Torg items. Yeah, these are just pirate's booty, and yeah, here are the actual challenges that I'm getting close to being done. And it's persistent across all characters, and every character can do their own badass challenges. So you can go to another character, and they've already got all these bonuses to help them work right off the bat, and it's pretty nice. So you can give yourself plenty of little bonuses like that, and it gives you a reason to keep coming back. Just that one more level sets in fairly quickly, and then again you've got all these bloody guns. Look at all these bloody guns. Just all the guns in the world. I want them all. God, I have to spend some time dumping my stuff now. Damn, that's so annoying. Still, this game is really fun to play, especially for long periods of time, because you just end up thinking one more level, one more gun to find, one more person to loot, one more quest to do. And it is fun because of that. It's a lot of fun to play this and think, ooh, that's a fun looking gun. Let's go try that out. And then you're just done, like, then you're just done, like, 3 or 4 hours later thinking, oh god, what did I just do? I just went up like 5 levels and I didn't even realize. Interesting. So let's go do another quest, shall we? I think I'll go do that story quest, because it might help me show the game off a bit better. Might give me some of the good writing too. This isn't a really spoilerific mission. This is pretty early on in the game still. I tried playing multiplayer earlier, and there was this really dumb person who was like, oh, I'm just going to go to an area 4 levels above my own, and I'm going to get myself killed repeatedly. And that annoys me. So on the way there, we might as well talk about the game's frame rate and the micro stuttering you may be noticing. This game does have micro stuttering, and it's pretty bad. It's kind of annoying, to tell you the truth, because you have all this damn micro stutter, which is... Can I even move? I don't think I can. Damn. Okay, so let's just get out of this, and punch, 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 punch. That should do it. And we'll just get into the car here. If I can just stop skirting all over the place. Thank you. But the game does have micro stutter, and it can come in at the worst of times. Like, you're trying to shoot a guy, and then the game freezes for a little bit, and then you find he's out of the way of your reticle. It's really annoying. I hope they patch that out. There's a lot in this game I hope they patch out. So, and all the graphical effects being missing, I can deal with that, but the micro stutter is really disappointing. I hope they fix that. I don't even know where I'm going for this mission, so I'm just going to be driving for a little while. Might as well talk about the multiplayer. The multiplayer is 2 players, as I said before, and I think they've rebalanced it a little bit to show off the multiplayer a bit more. But I don't really know for sure. I haven't played for that long, but the 2 times I tried the multiplayer worked pretty well. There is a match browser, which is really, really nice, because you can go and look at everybody who's playing and pick the best one for you. You can see what level they are, you can see what story mission they're on. It's nice. It's a really nice little feature to have a server browser in a PlayStation Vita game. I wish more games would do it. Hint, hint. These loading times aren't really as bad as you think they would be. You get used to them after a while. And the mission is right up ahead, so I'm going to go straight in there, and I'm going to fight some more enemies, and I'm going to just try and keep talking, because I'm pretty sure I've talked about everything. Let's just talk about Borderlands 2 itself. Or should I talk about the port more? Well, the port control's fine. I mean, like, the motion sensor works the way you expect it to work. I wish it would be a little bit less, as I said, I wish it would be a little bit less choppy. I wish the motion sensor was a little bit more configurable, because I remember having problems with Killzone Mercenary, and I can imagine people who think this is too sensitive or too insensitive might have a few problems. Oh jeez! That's a boss. Yes, he did have 3 midgets attached to the front of his thing. We are going to just turn around and fire everything. And we're going to throw a grenade. Or 2. Or 3. We're going to continue gun-circing. Borderlands 2 has 6 character classes, and they're all specialized in different types of weapons. So, the Commando specializes in everything, and there are all sorts of different other things that you can check out. Like, I'm just going to get this rocket launcher out. Like, all the different classes have what's called an action skill. You just saw gun-zerking there. Gun-zerking lets me wield 2 guns at once and just go nuts on all my enemies. Then there's things like the... Then you got the Siren, Myra, I don't think that's her name, but she's got a name. Of course she does, every character has a name. And there are all sorts of different little abilities that they have, like the Siren has a phase-locking ability who will lift an enemy up in the air and suck in other enemies. The Accident has a turret. The Commando, he has a turret, which didn't even mean to examine that, but still, it's kind of cool you can do that, even though it's only at like 10 FPS. And then you've got all these skill trees. You get 1 point every time you level up, and they all have... Every character has 3 trees, and all these trees have these all unique little things here. So as you can see, increases your fire rate with all types of guns when your shields are depleted. That's pretty fancy. Killing an enemy reduces all damage you take for a few seconds. Taking damage from enemies increases your movement speed and reload speed. And there's all sorts of tiny little bonuses like that. And it's, again, it all ties into this little, I want to play more, I want to play 1 more level, I want to play 2 more levels, I want to play for 4 hours and then fall asleep and drop the Vita on my face. No, I did not do that. And it is kind of fun to play, admittedly. Even with all the issues that the port has, I still find myself having a lot of fun with Borderlands 2. It's pretty fancy how It's pretty fancy stuff. It's pretty fancy how I managed to enjoy this game, even though the port isn't that good and there's some obvious issues with it. The fact that I still enjoy it on top of all that is pretty good. I mean, come on, you can't deny that. It is pretty nice. Loading times are starting to annoy me though. Come on. Okay, so there are all sorts of different other things I haven't gone into, like the questing system. You go back to places and you pick up all your quests. All this bloody texture loading that reminds me of Rage. I absolutely love all this. You can go and sell your guns. You can go and... You've got all sorts of things. I might as well talk about the DLC. I don't like the DLC, the way they handle DLC in this game, for a couple of reasons. One being that they picked a really weird set of DLC to port. Like, you know what DLC they chose to port? They ported 2 content packs, 1 level cap increase, 1 pack that doesn't even work, and I don't know why it doesn't work, but it doesn't work. And then they ported the level cap DLC? Yeah. 2 classes, 2 content packs, level cap DLC, and the golden weapons pack, which doesn't even bloody work. The thing about it, all this stuff is that you kind of think some of it's missing. Like this game's supposed to have cross-save with the PlayStation 3 version, but unfortunately it doesn't have all the DLC, and I feel like they focused on the wrong DLC. They should have brought over both of the level cap increases, because the level cap increases, I don't know if that means you'll be able to only import level, I don't know, what was it, 61 characters in, because like the level cap in the first pack is level 61. I don't know if that means something else. It's just kind of disappointing, because that means if I want to play a character who's like level 72 on my PS3 and bring him over to this, I just can't. The game won't let me. And that's just disappointing. And it just feels a bit weird they chose to bring over things like the Pirate DLC or the Mr. Talk's Campaign of Carnage DLC, because it's just odd. You would think they would bring over something that would increase the gameplay more and then bring over the big content packs later. Oh god, Psycho. I'm just gonna melee the bastard out of him. There we go. Maybe they'll pour the rest of the stuff over. Maybe they won't. I hope they do, though. In fact, I hope they bring over all the DLC, because Borderlands 2 is really going to be the last chance the Vita has. If Borderlands 2 fails to revitalize the Vita's AAA scene, then the Vita is pretty much done. It's just disappointing that it's all coming down to this. It's all coming down to the Borderlands 2 port in order to make this actually work, and it's... I'm sorry I talked over him. Again, it's kind of disappointing that they chose to port over the content packs and not the ones that would actually give the game a lot of longevity. Longevity. But at the same time, I can see why they ported what they did. Although, to be fair, I really wanted to see Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, because people keep saying that's the best Borderlands 2 DLC. And if this doesn't really drive more Vita sales in the AAA market, then who knows what'll happen to the Vita. Maybe it'll just be deferred to the North American indie machine for the rest of its lifespan. Maybe it'll just be rewound to a... Whoa! Hello! Where'd you come from? Ooh, lots of effects. Oh, wow, okay. As you can see, there's a good few enemies on screen right now, and it's kind of hard to manage them. Oh, hello! I'll just melee you. Yeah, you just explode into nothingness when I punch you in the stomach. To be fair, the reason I just talked about the Vita, this being the Vita's last chance to have a big commercial point in the American market, is probably the reason I would tell you to buy this game outright. Even if you don't like the performance, even if this will just like sit in your drawer and never be played, let it be so. If you just, you know, help the Vita out a little bit. Try and show Sony that I'm going to die here, yep. Probably could have done something to stop that. Doesn't matter, I'll just respawn at the start of this level and I can run back through. If you want to support the PlayStation Vita, if you want to support things like Borderlands 2 getting ported to the Vita, this is probably the one game you want to buy, even if you don't like the performance, even if you don't like the fact that some of the DLC may not be made available. It's kind of sad that we have to come down to this. Things like the 3DS prove that people will still buy stuff on handhelds, and yet Sony doesn't really do much to actually advertise it. They don't do anything like bring over any big games, they don't do any TV ads, they don't do any sort of promotions. Hell, they still haven't gone around to doing a PS4 and a Vita bundle of some kind. That would be amazing, but I don't know. They just seem to want to do everything they can to stop it from making waves, or at least Sony North America does. This has been doing really well in Japan. Like the freaking... what was it called? Bullet Girls? If D3 Publisher is confident enough in the Vita to announce a game where it's basically paintball with girls with customizable panties, then I have no freaking clue why Sony can't do the Vita a couple of favors over here. And with the PS4 probably going to get the Siphon Filter reboot, and... oh, I'm just so disappointed in that. Why is the PS4 getting the Siphon Filter reboot? It was bloody best on PSP, and yet now they're not even giving the Vita a chance here. They're just taking something that would work really well on the Vita and instead just putting it only on PS4. Or at least that's what I heard in the rumors. But it turns out it's probably going to be true because... oh, I'm just experiencing frustration here because...
Dear Roland, I can't help but notice the Bloodshots. You are fighting back some serious firepower. If you are going to have a chance against them, you will need to up your arsenal. It will always hard your high-quality munitions from my store. If you buy from me, those Bloodshots will be dead in no time.
Yeah, I do like the writing in this game. It's just, yeah. You know what I'm trying to say. You should buy this game purely if you want to support the Vita. I'm just disappointed in the way Sony handles things in North America. I wish someone from Europe or something would come and smack some sense into them.
Focus on that slugger.
Tyrion wants Roland bad, even if they don't buy him.
Son of a bitch!
That's a lot of grenades. This port is still pretty good. I really do like it. It is a fun way to play Borderlands 2, even if it's the worst version of Borderlands 2. Oh god, I'm dead again. This is not going to end well, is it? Damn it. Oh, I was trying. This is a good port of Borderlands 2, and it is a fun way to play the game. It is obviously going to be the worst version. I hope they patch some of the issues out, especially with the effects not being as pronounced as they used to be, and the micro stuttering that shows up from time to time, and hopefully fix up these menus as well so they run at a higher frame rate than the rest of the game, because they really seem to lag, and it's kind of annoying trying to navigate them when half your button presses go ignored because of the low frame rate. But overall, this is a fun way to play the game. There are problems with it, like these enemies that come out like 3 at a time. Sometimes you get told to kill 20 of them, and it's like, it creates a sort of clown car effect where you're standing in front of the door of the car, and you're just shooting enemies as they come out one by one, and it's kind of depressing. I might want to get behind cover now I think about it.
Look out!
Showing off the turret. Sweet.
Goddamn mercs!
And of course, yeah, just... It is a good port, and would I recommend someone buy it? Well, if you have Borderlands 2 on any other platform other than PS3, I would probably tell you just to go play them. But again, there is that point you can make where this is really like one of the Vita's only chances left to impress the Western market. And we want this to succeed, we really do. If you want to get any value, well, I'm not going to say any value out of your Vita whatsoever. If you want the big AAA guys to pay attention to the Vita, you want this to be successful. You want this to sell like 1 million copies. So if you want a brighter future for the Vita, you're probably going to want to buy this. If you don't want a brighter future for the Vita, why are you alive, you pessimistic bastard? And it's a fun game to play nonetheless. All credit to them for that. At least they kept it fun. I let that happen, because I can just kill this guy and get a second win. There we go. I need to replace this rifle. It's starting to get a bit useless. That's not my run button. That's my run button. I'm just going to go through this next section without any real commentary. So, yeah, this has been Blue Maxima. You should buy this game if you want a brighter future for the Vita. If you don't, I hate you. I'll see you all next time.
Bloodshots, like all those Crimson Raider idiots in Sanctuary.
Take him out! Come on, little one! Time
The
to
resistance
die!
info Roland gathered on the vault. We know Hyperion wants to open, but we don't know why. If you rescue Roland, we might have a shot at stopping that.
Yeah! Cover that one!
Hyperion suggests that you rejoice in your temporary death. A victory achieved without suffering. No victory at all.
You can still Hate doing math.
Hyperion would like to remind you that there is only one thing worse than respawning, and that is not respawning.
Getting away from us! You gotta get closer!
Leave us alone! Jump in a ball, buster! You should be running! Start running! You should be running!
Shoot him! Shoot him! Look out! Mercs! Screw that guy!
Yeah! Somebody stop that slaggin' from spring and rolling! We lose him, we lose our payday! You're gonna win, we...
Vault Hunter. Good to finally meet you in person. Hell of a job fighting through those bloodshots. This'll just take a second.